It had been almost a year since Sergeant Alex Carter left for his deployment overseas. His family, particularly his mother, Sarah, had counted down the days until he would return. Every letter, every phone call, every brief video chat seemed to make the wait a little easier, but deep down, they all knew the moment he stepped off that plane, life would change forever. Sarah kept herself busy, focusing on the garden she and Alex used to tend to together. His absence made it harder to find joy in the small things, but she kept herself busy with the little chores they used to share. She looked at his childhood photos with a bittersweet smile, remembering his mischievous grin and the way he'd always protectively look out for his younger sister, Emma. Emma, now a teenager, had grown up in Alex's absence. She'd always looked up to him, and his return was the one thing that could make her feel complete again. She was proud of her brother, but there was a lingering ache in her heart as she wondered if things would ever be the same. Alex's return was just days away, and though they were both overjoyed, there was a part of them that couldn't help but feel anxious. After all, war changes people, and they weren't sure how the months of separation had affected him. Still, they dreamed of the reunion, imagining the tears, the laughter, and the joy of finally having him home. But Alex had a secret, a plan that would turn the ordinary homecoming into something truly unforgettable. As the day of Alex's return grew closer, Sarah and Emma couldn't contain their excitement. They spent hours preparing the house, making Alex's favorite meals, and decorating the living room with homemade signs that read, "Welcome home," and "We miss you." Everything was in place for the perfect reunion. But Alex was already planning something that would take them completely by surprise. Back at the military base, Alex had been preparing for his return in secret. He had been thinking for months about how he could make his homecoming something memorable. While his family expected him to simply walk through the door, Alex had something far more dramatic in mind. He had coordinated with the military to orchestrate a surprise that would leave his family speechless. The day arrived, and Sarah and Emma woke up early, eager to prepare. They were anxiously awaiting the call that Alex had landed. But instead of a simple phone call, Alex had arranged for something much bigger. As the clock ticked closer to the afternoon, Sarah's phone buzzed. It was a text message from a number she didn't recognize. "Get to the school gym in 1 hour. Trust me." Confused but intrigued, Sarah looked at Emma, who shared the same puzzled expression. They didn't understand, but they knew Alex had always been full of surprises. Without wasting another moment, they rushed to the car, both wondering what Alex had planned this time. When they arrived at the school gym, Sarah and Emma could hear a crowd gathering inside. They exchanged looks before stepping inside. The gym was full of friends, family, and other military personnel. Sarah's heart raced. Something was off, but she couldn't put her finger on it. They were led to seats near the front, and then the announcer's voice rang out over the loudspeaker. "Everyone, please rise for a very special moment." The lights dimmed, and the huge screen at the front of the gym flickered to life. It was a video showing clips from Alex's deployment, footage of him in the desert, speaking with local families, and even moments with his military comrades. Then the video paused. The crowd waited in silence. And then, from the back of the gym, the door opened. Sarah's heart skipped a beat. There, in his full military uniform, stood Alex. The crowd erupted into applause, but for Sarah and Emma, everything around them felt like it slowed down. Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she rushed toward him, her legs moving almost on their own. She threw her arms around him as Alex lifted her off the ground, holding her tightly. Emma stood frozen for a moment, before running to her brother, engulfing him in a hug that spoke volumes. But just when they thought the reunion couldn't be any more overwhelming, Alex whispered, "There's more." As Sarah and Emma stood there, still holding Alex in a tearful embrace, they heard the announcer speak again. Everyone please make way. There's someone else who's been waiting for this moment just as much as they have. Suddenly, a hush fell over the gym, and Sarah's heart raced as she looked at Alex. He gave her a soft smile before stepping back slightly. Emma, still holding on to her brother, looked up at him, her face full of confusion. Alex motioned to the side, and out of the crowd stepped a figure Sarah had never expected to see, her father, Henry, who had passed away 5 years earlier. He was standing there, a gentle smile on his face, with tears in his eyes. Sarah froze, her breath caught in her throat. It took a moment for her to process what was happening. She turned to Alex, whose eyes shone with a mixture of pride and excitement. "I knew how much you missed Dad," Alex said softly. "I couldn't bring him back, but I arranged for his presence in a way that would help us all heal. This is part of the surprise. He's been working with me from the other side, in the way that I could bring him back in spirit, and now we can all remember him together." The gym erupted into soft murmurs of disbelief, but Sarah couldn't speak. Her hands trembled as she reached out for Henry. She touched his face, and it was warm. His familiar scent, the one she had missed so much, filled the air. It felt real. "I thought I'd lost you forever," Sarah whispered, her voice cracking as she leaned into her father's embrace. "I'm not gone," Henry said gently, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "I'm always with you, just in a different way now. Alex, he's been keeping our connection alive. He's been keeping me close to you." Sarah's tears flowed freely as she clung to her father, overwhelmed with the unexpected joy of seeing him again, even if only in this miraculous moment. Emma, too, was overcome with emotion, having longed for the man who had helped shape her life. For the next few minutes, the gym was filled with tears and laughter, as Sarah and Emma spent time with Henry, now spiritually present but deeply real to them both. The love and connection between them was stronger than ever, even if it had come in a form they couldn't have imagined. Alex, watching the moment unfold, felt a sense of peace. The mission he had set out on, to make his family whole again, had succeeded. The homecoming wasn't just about bringing himself back. It was about bringing healing and closure to a family that had been torn apart by loss. As the final moments of the reunion stretched on, Sarah and Emma held their loved ones close, knowing that no matter what happened, they would always be together. And this unforgettable surprise would forever be a testament to the bond that transcends time and space. The end.